Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am diving into Lollapalooza and providing you guys some tips for this year's festival as well as my top set recommendations. For those that don't know me, my name is Aid. I'm a music festival content creator and I am so sorry, you guys. I just missed out on all the Lollapalooza content because it came up so fast. I went back in 2019 and had an amazing time and I will not be going this year. However, I wanted to put together a video for you guys. And like I said, I didn't know if Lolla was going to be happening and then it happened so quick. The lineup was dropped, tickets went on sale, the set times were out and I'm like, hello? So I know I'm pretty late to the game, but hopefully this video is catching you at the best time. So I'm going to be giving you guys some general tips for Lollapalooza as well as my set time recommendations. And so if you have any questions, feel free to comment it down below. And if you do like today's video, do give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. So without further ado, let's get into it. First off, we're going to cover the general tips just so we can get those out of the way and then we'll talk about the set. These were some tips that came to mind from when I went in 2019. If there's any questions that you guys have, definitely let me know. Number one is to check the bag and item policy. This was a big thing that happened to our group. There was a lot of confusion as to what kind of bag we could bring in, and so they do have a clear bag policy unless it's a hydration pack, and if it's a hydration pack it can't have more than 2 pockets. So just double check to make sure. I think they do have some graphics on the website and on their social media kind of telling you what is allowed, what's not allowed. Same thing with what's allowed in and not allowed in item wise. So just make sure that you check that list because I know a lot of people in our group had a really rough time with security and I almost didn't get let in because of my hydration pack and I had to argue with them about it. And so just double check on that just to make sure that you don't have any issues with security. I do remember them being a little bit strict about some things, especially on the first day. And I will say definitely get there early when you want to go because there are multiple entrances. I think there's 3 entrances. And so we went for the north entrance and that wasn't so bad, but I know like one of the south entrance is definitely a lot more congested, so it just saves you a lot more time with security when you have a plan and you are following and abiding by their rules and stuff. So just follow those guidelines and make sure you just double check them so you don't have any issues with security. Number 2 is to wear comfortable shoes. I will say out of any festival, I feel like Lollapalooza is the biggest in terms of venue. I could be wrong, but Grant Park is huge. I feel like I walked so much at Lollapalooza, and so I recommend comfortable shoes no matter what. Like wear shoes that are broken in, get some Dr. Scholl's insoles, whatever you can do to just make sure that your feet are comfortable and that you can walk and dance all day long. I'm pretty sure I wore Converse some days and then I think I wore my Festy Bestie boots one day because I really enjoyed that outfit and those shoes were pretty comfortable. Definitely just pack some comfortable shoes. When it comes to what to wear, I would recommend something more maybe on the casual kind of street side of things. I wore like biker short sets 2 days. I wore another really cute set another day. I wore a big t-shirt on the last day. It's definitely more like the casual style, street style. I could also imagine seeing a lot of people going for like a Y2K trend because that's very trendy right now. But it's definitely more on the casual kind of side compared to like full on rave outfit, if that makes sense. I did see people in rave outfits. However, it did look a little bit out of place compared to what everyone else is wearing because this is a city festival in the heart of Chicago. And so that's just kind of the vibes it gives off, is more of a street casual type wear. It's also going to be hot, so wear something that you can breathe and feel comfortable in and that's kind of flowy and lets off some air. That way you don't feel so hot and sweaty and confined in whatever you're wearing. My third tip is to stay hydrated. Do what you can. Bring a hydration pack, bring a reusable water bottle. They do have water fill up stations. I never had an issue filling up water. Bring a fan, bring like a spray bottle, bring whatever you need to keep cool. There's definitely a lot more areas for shade at this festival, which I really like. So definitely find some shade, take some breaks, don't go over your limits and stuff. If you are planning and partaking in, you know, some party favors and stuff, maybe wait till it's not the hottest point of the day. Maybe wait till it starts to cool down a little bit just so you don't get heat stroke or heat exhaustion or anything like that. It's definitely a lot more hot, a lot more humid humid. I didn't find it to be too unbearable. However, we stayed hydrated and we had a fan and everything like that to keep us cool and keep us safe. And then the last tip I have, which is probably the biggest thing that Lollapalooza has become known for recently, and that is the crowd. Since this is an all ages festival, it does tend to bring a younger crowd. However, I personally didn't mind it when I went in 2019. A lot of people bash Lollapalooza because of the crowd being so young, and they bring just like those vibes of just like a bunch of kids that are drunk and doing party favors and stuff like that. However, we still had a good time. I feel like if you are one of those people that gets really bothered by people's energy, especially if they're super young and they might be being inconsiderate, maybe just stay towards the back. A lot of them stay at the front of the stages. We all hang out in the back and we had a great time. And so I wasn't really fazed by the crowd. I know some people might have different experiences. However, for our group, we had a great time. I think as long as you just enjoy your time and mind your business and vibe out, you're gonna have a great time. If you do happen to come across, inconsiderate people or, young people that are just like taking up space or being rude or whatever, maybe just remove yourself from the situation. You know what I mean? We had a great time. We weren't really fazed by it and we just enjoyed our time together. We didn't really pay too much notice about it. And you know what? They're having a good time, so let them have their fun and you can have your fun. Just do what you can to control your experience. You know what I mean? So that's all I'll really say about that is just control the controllables. Control the time that you have at Lollapalooza. Maybe hang out more towards the back if you're going to Perry's stage where all those young kids are hanging out. They're typically at the EDM stage at the front. So maybe just hang out more towards the back if you feel like that's not your vibe. That's all I'll say on that. So let's get into the set times and my set recommendations. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen here, but I wanted to just kind of look at it on my computer. And so, all right. So Thursday, I would definitely recommend checking out Christian French. That's definitely someone I've been wanting to see. He's kind of more on the up and coming. So he's definitely a similar vibe to Chelsea Cutler and like Jeremy Zucker, more of like that indie pop kind of vibe. Really enjoy him. Allie and AJ's on here are queens. I feel like that's such a major throwback, but also at the same time at Perry stage is going to be Blossom. I highly recommend checking her out. My bass house night bass queen. I'm so proud of her. She's a good friend of mine. So it's definitely awesome to see her on here. Max is on here. He's playing pretty early. I have never seen Max. He's another kind of vocalist that I absolutely love. So it'd be cool to see him. Justin J is really great. Love him. He'll be from 2 to 3. I would probably split this time, but I would definitely want to see Olivia O'Brien. She is on the rise as like a pop female artist. I really loved her new album. I'm going to be seeing her in the fall. She's also at the same time as Dombresky, and we love Dombresky. He has been so great lately with all his music. He's a really good house vibe for anyone that wants to check him out. I definitely recommend him. I've heard a lot of people say good things about Dayglow, but I don't know if I've ever listened to them. Say My Name is 4:30 to 5:30. He's gonna kill it for some of that hard trap vibes at Lolla. It won't be sunset yet, so that'll be like prime daytime set right there. Jimmy Eat World is a classic. That's so crazy seeing them on here. Who else? All Time Low. I would 100% be at that set. Catch me there without a doubt. You know what I mean? Ash is another great vocalist that I love. It's really cool to see her on here. I would love to see her at like an ACL or something. K Tronada is also an incredible electronic artist. He's always been really great. His last album was awesome. I think he was nominated for a Grammy or won a Grammy, I'm pretty sure. Chami, also a good time. Always recommend checking out Chami if you've never seen Chami for some of that future house kind of vibe. I know my boyfriend loves Playboy Cardi, so he would probably want to go see him. And then ending on the Bud Light Seltzer stage, Illenium is closing out that stage, which I think is pretty awesome for him. And then Oliver Tree is also a closeout set. Steve Aoki is, and then Miley Cyrus, our queen. Love her. How this typically will go is T-Mobile and Bud Light Seltzer are on opposite ends. So if you have someone that you want to see on both of those stages, it's going to be pretty hard to split the set, if I'm being honest, because the walk is so much. So it might be better just to pick one artist over the other when it comes to those closeout sets. But pretty cool of Illenium to be closing out that stage. Like, that's a pretty big deal for an electronic artist to be closing that out. I know Chainsmokers, I'm pretty sure Chainsmokers closed out that stage in 2019 and Louis the Child got to play that stage on one of the days as well. So that's pretty awesome and incredible to see Illenium close out that stage. Moving on to Friday. So Level Up Dub is on here. For those that don't know, that she is dating Subtronics. She is also a queen in her own right of dubstep and bass music. So really cool that she gets to kick off the Perry's stage here. This day seems to be a lot more bassy. Yeah, definitely looking at that. So that has definitely a lot of people, except for Dabin. You got all these like intense EDM artists, and then you have Dabin with all the feels. Some other people in the beginning, I don't know too many that I would want to see. I would honestly probably be at Perry's for that little bit to see Level Up, Champa. I feel like I know Njomza, Njomza, that 150 to 230 slot. She sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I know who that is. Dabin, we love Dabin. We love Wooly. Then we got Riot 10, another great artist. I actually saw the beginning of a Riot, or the end of a Riot 10 set at Ubby Dubby, and I was actually pretty impressed. So I would be curious to see what a full set of his is like. And then we got our girl Elohim. She is a really incredible electronic artist. She plays piano and she sings at the same time. I don't know if she plays any other instruments, but she has a whole live aspect to her sets that are really awesome to see. So that is definitely a recommendation from me. Subtronics is going to be really killer. Mothica, I discovered her. I actually had one of her songs saved a long time ago, but she recently just blew up on TikTok last year. And so I would definitely want to check her out because some of her music, like her lyrics, are just really moving and she has really great beats and all of that. So I would definitely want to check her out. I think that'll be quite a moment for her to be on this lineup and be at Lollapalooza. Love Lauv. I've been wanting to see for so long and I still have never seen him. I just like love his music and I love his voice. So that is definitely like a must for me to see him in the future. Jaws. We love Jaws, our bass house king. We absolutely love him. It's really cool to see him on this lineup. I haven't seen Jaws in a while, and I don't know if he's on any other lineups. I think he's on EDC, so I would definitely want to see him then. But it's been a long time. Jaws is like an OG favorite of mine. Like I've been a fan since like 2016, so it's been a while. Brownies and Lemonade All-Stars is very interesting that they're on this lineup, even more so that they're on the Tito stage. For those that don't know, Brownies and Lemonade, they are a collective in LA that started doing like underground house parties and warehouse parties, and they would always surprise people with like insane artists like Skrillex or like Madeon, RL Grime, like that kind of stuff. And it was one of those things where like you would buy the ticket and then you would then find out who's playing basically. So it's really cool to see them have a takeover essentially. So how that will work is that it's probably just going to be, you know, massive B2Bs or certain artists playing during that time frame. I know a lot of people are hyped about Jack Harlow. That I think he's at ACL or he's on another lineup that I think we might check him out at. I'm pretty sure. And then closing out that night, we got Marshmello, which I used to be a huge Mellow Gang, you guys. I don't know if I would go see Marshmello because I probably would go see Tyler, the Creator, just because I used to love Tyler, the Creator in high school. And so I feel like I would need to fulfill that, you know? But it's a tough call. Marshmello, Suicide Boys, and Tyler, the Creator. I don't know Amar Apollo, but between, you know, those three, that's a pretty tough call for a lot of people. But personally, I probably would go see Tyler, the Creator. All right. So then moving on to Saturday, my eyes first always go to the Perry stage. This day seems to be a lot more house that day, except for a couple here and there. So that will be a really good day. Wednesday, I believe, is more so on the bass side. And then we have Vanessa. She is a house artist. Absolutely love her. Definitely recommend her set. I saw her at Ubby Dubby and she's been killing it. Sid is also a really great future house artist, but he's also been diving into tech house a lot more. He'll be playing for an hour. This would be a must see for me is Vintage Culture from 315 to 415. Really incredible house artist, and I have been loving all of his stuff. I get to see him at EDC and I'm so excited for that set. And then after that, I would be a little bit conflicted. I would love to see Drama. They are a duo that just have amazing lyrics and amazing songs. They have a couple of collabs with Gorgon City and I've been obsessed with Drama ever since then. I would also want to see Cautious Clay because I have a couple of songs saved by him. I absolutely love his stuff. Lost Kings is always a good time, you know, they're more so like, I don't know what they would be, because they have more like euphoric type uppity house, I guess, like euphoric drops and stuff. And then Tonight is pretty classic. I was wanting to see them at Coachella. They're pretty classic when it comes to being electronic artists. Some of their songs you probably have heard some of your favorite trap artists play. Tate McRae is also a really incredible vocalist that I would want to see, pop vocalist. She has that one song, You Broke Me First, that a lot of people heard on TikTok. That's another thing. It's really interesting seeing how TikTok is kind of influencing some of these lineups, because I just now mentioned another artist that I knew because of TikTok. So very interesting indeed to see how these lineups are going to get molded because of TikTok. So that's a conversation for another day though. Who else? We got Limp Bizkit. What a throwback. Megan Thee Stallion, definitely would want to see her. Oliver Heldens, really awesome future house artist. He also has been dabbling more with like tech house and techno, I would want to say, with some of his like other aliases and collabs and stuff. I will definitely be seeing him at EDC, so it'll be interesting to see how Lollapalooza goes for him. And then closing it off, we got Journey, Mark Rebellion, I don't know how to pronounce it, Slander, and then Post Malone. I truly feel so conflicted with this, because on one hand, Journey, hello, like, what? Journey, such a classic. Like, I feel like my dad would like be really upset with me if I didn't go to that, you know what I mean? But then we got Mark Rebellion or whatever, who kind of blew up over quarantine. Definitely would be a sight to see. Then we have Slander for all our like melodic bass crying feels. Then we got Post Malone. Like, oh, I don't know. You guys are gonna have to report back to me on what you do with that, because I truly would not know what to do. I would honestly probably go to Journey, stop by Slander, end up Post Malone. And Mark, I would sing another time. I don't know. That's a tough call. And then wrapping us up on Sunday here. So it is a 4-day festival, you guys. So that is why I say it's a marathon, not a sprint. Stay hydrated, take care of yourself, don't burn out too quick, basically. So looking at this last day, definitely recommend More Kismet. They are a non-binary young DJ that blew up over quarantine. They are absolutely incredible. Like, they're going to be the youngest person to play at EDC. So they're more on the bass side. Like, they dabble with future bass and dubstep a little bit, like all different kinds of bass music, I would say. Another must see is LPGOE. I'm going to scream this from the rooftops, but she is one of the most exciting house acts right now. She plays piano over some house tracks, and her energy is just amazing. It's infectious, and I can't get enough of it. So definitely recommend checking her out. William Black is another great melodic bass artist. I absolutely love his sets. Elderbrook would definitely be on my list to see, just because I have loved some of his music for so long. Really good melodic deep house kind of vibe, and his vocals are really great. Dr. Fresh, another amazing bass house artist. Sullivan King would be really insane to see at Lollapalooza. I will be very interested to see videos of people walking past Sullivan King being like, what is going on? That's kind of what happened with Sudden Death when I went to Lollapalooza, and I feel like that would have the same effect as Sullivan King set. Same thing with Peekaboo, another awesome, more wobbly type bass artist. I would be very interested to see people's reactions to that. You will not catch me at Yellow Claw. That time is past. They just yell way too much on the microphone. So I would probably go to Brockhampton for that 7:15 to 8 o'clock time slot. And then we got DaBaby, Big Wild, Alice in Wonderland, and Foo Fighters. Man, Lollapalooza is really trying to get that crowd controlled. I would probably see the beginning of Foo Fighters, go to Alice in Wonderland, and then end at Big Wild. That's tough. But Alice in Wonderland is going to tear up that Perry stage. Like, R.L. Grime teared up that Perry stage when it closed, and I know Alice in Wonderland would do the same. But you got to see Foo Fighters for the vibe, so I'd probably see Foo Fighters, go to Allison for the middle, and then end up Big Wild for all the feels. Because Big Wild also has like a live component too, and he sings, and I would just love to see that. It would be so good. So good to see. A perfect note to end on, honestly. I know some people would probably go see DaBaby. I know my boyfriend would probably want to go see him, but not my cup of tea, honestly. I love some rap, but I really haven't gotten into DaBaby just yet. But those are just my thoughts. These are just my recommendations. Let me know if you're going to Lollapalooza and who you are most excited to see. Let me know if you have any questions on how to prepare or any other general tips. If you did like today's video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.